Boom! It's time to headbang with this huge list of cult movies about rock and roll. In these days, we found a lot more time to spend with TV. So, why not to watch or maybe re-watch some cool and fun movies? I've picked the movies in this list by selecting the ones with the most intriguing soundtrack, so be ready to turn up the volume. But before we jump in this chart, remember to click that so beautiful button with the magic word subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for new videos. The first movie is Almost Famous. 4 Academy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, 1 Grammy Award for this masterpiece by Cameron Crowe, also director of Jerry Maguire and Vanilla Sky. The story is about a music journalist who at the age of 15 agrees to follow a rock band on tour, The Still Water, on behalf of Rolling Stone magazine. The most interesting part is that this story is semi-autobiographical since Crowe was himself a journalist for Rolling Stone when he was young, touring with bands like Led Zeppelin, Eagles and many more. Number 2, Quadrophenia by Frank Rodham, 1979. This is not only for Who lovers, but also an historically relevant movie. It explains the difficult underground situation between the two movements of rockers and modernists, aka the mods. At some point in the movie, you are going to find a young and very blonde Sting, age 27. Oh, this movie is the debut film of the director of Misery and Stand By Me, Rob Reiner. This is a great mockumentary that makes fun of the habits and stereotypes of hard rock industry. And as you can read from Wikipedia, in 2002 it was deemed also culturally, historically or aesthetically significant by the Library of Congress and was selected for preservation by the National Film Registry. Cool stuff. 2006, Liam Lynch directs The Pick of Destiny by Tenacious D. There is not so much to say about this great masterpiece of rock and insanity. Just a note about the director, that Liam Lynch, which the real name is William Needers and which has nothing to do with the director David Lynch. Liam Lynch is himself a musician and this was his first long movie. As a director, he directed also the music videos for a lot of artists, from the Tenacious D's to Queens of the Stone Age, Foo Fighters, Royal Blood and many more. In this movie, you are going to fall in love for the great soundtrack and the great cameos that are here. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll heart with this movie written by Mike Myers and based on a Saturday Night Live sketch. We are in Illinois and that's exactly the story of two friends that decide to open a YouTube channel before YouTube exists. That's exactly what happens in this movie. 1989, it's the time of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure by Stephen Herek. This is a movie with Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter and George Carlin. We are in 1989, Back to the Future is at the second chapter of the franchise and there is a huge passion for sci-fi and hair rock, a great combo to make a movie on. Let's jump in the future with one of my preferred movies ever. It's 2009 and Richard Curtis helps us to understand and live the spirit of the magic 60s in UK. With Philip Seymour Hoffman, we are shipped in the world of pirate radios that used to broadcast rock music that official radios didn't want to play. That's a must. Taking Woodstock by Ang Lee. Despite the box office failure, this great movie by the Oscar winner Ang Lee drives us in the middle of the Woodstock Festival organization through the eyes of his major, Elliot Tiber. Number 9, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Based on a graphic novel, this is a kind of arcade game romantic movie. Scott Pilgrim, that plays in a band called the Sex Bomb, falls in love for Ramona, but during a battle of the bands he finds out that to conquer the girl he needs to battle against all her exes. A movie full of action and the soundtrack is pretty Pretty cool. Number 10, last position, Airheads by Rich Wilkes. This is an amazing comedy with Steve Buscemi, Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler. The plot is based on one of the most common problems of new bands and rockers: getting music labels to listen to your demos. The appearance of Lemmy Kilmister and a crazy soundtrack makes this movie a real cult for rockers. If you enjoyed this list, please share this video with your friends and let me know in the comments about your favorite movies. See you in the next episode. Peace, love, rock space!